Hey everybody, welcome to part 6 of a day on the Dubkir Valley Railway. My name's Kirk. I'm the owner of Dubkir Media. It's a small company, uh, fairly new. We do mostly do train videos, but we do have some um, calendars and some other projects coming up. But for now, we're playing a day on the Dubkir Valley in Railroader. So if you've watched part 5, we just finished it off. We've got two eastbounds climbing the grade between Thomas Valley and Dillsboro. The passenger train is actually making its station stop right now. And then I've got the general merchandise train going in the siding at Cowie, and the passenger train is going to run around it. Then over on the other side of the railroad, we've got the empty coal train making its way to Robinson Gap Coal, and it is on the approach to Alarka Junction. So that's, I believe, that is where we're going to head. Because that will be the next move manually that I have to make. And what I do is I run the train, I stop the train on the main, then I run the locomotive around it, and then I shove the train from Alarka Junction up to the coal mine. And then what this does is, one, it turns your locomotive. The water and coal and stuff should be pretty solid for it. Yeah, here we go. We're coming into Alarka Junction now, so we'll get a rail fan shot here to start. One of my favorite things to do in the game is obviously you get a little bit of rail fanning in. And there's your train. So it just gave out an approach indication for Alarka Junction. Set things up and we'll So for those who have been following since the beginning, if we remember, one of the very first things we did, it may have actually been the first thing we did, was get the coal train going from Robinson Gap up here. So now we are getting ourselves into a position where it usually is one of the last things we do is get the coal train back up to the mine. But today's been pretty solid in terms of efficiency. It's actually been one of my more efficient days since I opened the line from East Whittier to Sylva. I haven't had a whole lot of downtime. In fact, I don't remember if it was quote unquote yesterday or quote unquote the day before, I had actually quite a large amount of downtime. And so what I did was I basically just went into fly view and I followed what I'm assuming is the Alarka branch up to the top there. And then I was kind of looking at the Fontana Lake site area and where the line goes from there. And That was a lot of downtime that I'm not used to having. And so for today, I feel like on this day I haven't really had any downtime. It's been kind of nice. Just kind of been one activity after another, you know. But again, though, we're gonna start off how we have been. If you haven't seen any of the other previous parts, one, you should. But two, let's give a little bit of a game explanation in here. Got about 230, 235-ish hours, somewhere in there. We are on game day number 41. I do not have any mods. I'm not on the experimental branch. It's almost as vanilla as the game gets. It is as vanilla as the game gets. I'm not in the experimental branch, and as of me playing this, the most recent update that the game has given, the devs have given, is that they are quote unquote very close to pushing the experimental branch into the main gameplay. And this experimental branch will be, it's got that AI waypoint, it's got the timetables, it's got the like the SD7 and some of the new, oh crud, I forgot to line the passenger train. And I will have to stop for water with number 10 here, so look at that. I got to get this train clear, though, of this switch. And the train's doing about 11. I keep it at 15, so that 11 tells me that they're wide open, 1,000 tons. So the passenger train never actually stopped, but it was pulling up to the red signal. And I do like that they give you a little bit of notice. That way when you do the oh crap moment. There we go. Dispatcher's paying attention. Except for, of course, prior to that. So then what I'm doing here with number 10 is I'm going to fill it up with water. As you can see, it's about half full, half empty, depending on your life's philosophies. And then I will run the locomotive out onto the main and shove it back onto this train, and I'll shove the coal train up to the coal mine. I'll actually have the AI crew do that. Okay, so the passenger is now at the other end of the siding where it once again has an approach signal. I'm really hoping this birdie is able to get into the siding quickly. It is currently going 11 miles an hour still. So it's maintaining its 11 miles an hour up the hill, but passenger train behind us doing 20. And if we look at our map, while number 10 fills with water, yep, that freight is in the meat of the grade. may have to go take a peek, do a little rail fanning once I get this underfilled. Perfect. You feel like it's a little deja vu? Yes, this is the exact same move I make with the passenger train after the passenger train arrives. The passenger train arrives at the depot. Passengers unload. We pull forward to clear the signal. And once we're clear of the signal, we uncouple. Our passengers start loading up to go back east. And once our passengers are on to go east, we turn the locomotive, we get everything ready. Number 10, permission to pass signal displaying stop indication. Alarka Junction East, main to main for recoupling onto the train. Manifest is out of the tunnel. Be a fun one to be rail fanning right now, although it's a little harder to shoot the tunnel in the afternoon as it is in the morning. I've found that it's easier to shoot the tunnel in the morning. I don't know. Yep, so there it is. Perfect. And then once that train clears the siding at Cowie, the passenger train is going to get lined by it on the main. In the siding. Car and line. There we go. Passenger train is now lined through Cowie. And I would like a picture, a railfan moment of the runaround. And now we're coupled on. Got to get this angle cock back here closed. But once we get it closed, we can start shoving towards the coal mine. Go. Take back control of the freight train. And I'm going to just still here. We're going to actually shove now, though. Don't have to shove real hard with this move, though, as anybody who's made this move knows. I'm going to do it before they clear the switch. I don't care. This way. There we go. Once we're at the mine, we are going straight. We got 2 cars loaded here. And we have a few Z there. So we are set. What's our boxcar look like? It's good. There we go. We're going to go to the AI crew. Reverse 10 miles an hour. Awesome. Go to Cowie. So there we go. Coal train getting shoved up into the mine. About to make some big bucks. We are going to head here, though, where I have this locomotive selected. Actually, don't have it selected. If you're listening and here on headphones, you can hear the passenger train. I normally don't play this game with headphones, though, so I normally wouldn't be able to hear the passenger train. Nope. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, we're going to drop this down to 15 miles an hour because the speed limit through the Dillsboro yard and everything is 15 because of the curvature. There we go, 15 for the passenger train. Enjoy. I personally think that was yummy. That was a nice run by. That was well done. But so now I have to sit here until the passenger train clears the main at Dillsboro. Then I can line this train to where it goes. We'll check this real quick. Got the birdie there. We got the passenger train here. If it ever wants to drag. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, we're going to go into flight mode and make sure my switches are set at Sylva for the passenger train. However, first I'm going to get my markers back into the position where I normally keep them. Except for the CRGSY, I have no idea where that went. I believe it was in part 4 we were watching. I had it dragged over here somewhere, and it literally just disappeared. I mean, we can make a new one. Not hard. I mean, it is hard. I can't ever seem to figure out how to edit these. I try control clicking nothing. I try double clicking nothing. I try right clicking nothing. And every once in a while it works. Obviously it works because you can see that I've got the rest of them. There we go. Pull from Robinson Gap to Sylva, going that way. And that'll be first thing tomorrow morning. We're back into locomotive here. There I am, say cheese. We're going to follow everything going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this particular train about here. And normally I would leave a fusee to stop it because it would be the AI bringing it in. But because I'm starting the train up at Cowie, so I have that one not to pick up, not picking that one up. Got to pick up all three of these, and I've got 2 to set out there and 1 to set out behind this boxcar. Then the passenger train's line for its stop. It'll be departing before I'm ready with the locomotive swap. And even if it's not, I still have to do the works. Not like I'm going anywhere real fast. And last but not least, we got an approach there. Throw our switch there. And you know what? I'm going to leave that switch normal. Because I can. So the passenger train should be going in right now. It is. And as soon as that one car clears, which it did, here comes my light. I always like trying to get out there to watch it go up. The semaphores are neat. If you ever get a chance to go down into northern New Mexico and watch Amtrak Southwest Chief go through those semaphores, take that chance before they're gone. There are only a handful left. There are 3 at the east location of Colmore siding, near the ghost town of Colmore. Those are actually fairly difficult to get into. Then you have the west end of Levi siding, which is actually right up against I-25. Very easy to get to. Then you have the intermediates in between Levi and Wagon Mound. Those are the famous ones with the Wagon Mound rock formation in the background. And then you have the east end of Wagon Mound siding, which are, again, they're fairly close to the road, but again, you only get Amtrak through there, though, so I would recommend going when the days are longer, but then again, you know, there's no guarantee that they last until the days are longer, so definitely worth the experience to go down there and see. And also, Amtrak is going 79 miles an hour through there, so that's another thing that you gotta take into account. So for now, Dillsboro Yard is fairly inactive. Like, as you can see, I have used it a few days ago. But ultimately, you know, once I get this paperboard going, there'll be more of a reason to use it. And honestly, with it being only 3:30, This is the earliest of the days that I've had this particular section of the line open. This is the earliest I've made it back to here with both of these trains. So I mean, it's very possible that it could be sooner rather than later. And I mean, I already have eight pulpwood cars purchased already at Bryson. I am actually kind of looking forward to the run when I got to bring them back. Because that's the other thing is I may have to have a locomotive at East Whittier specifically for the pulpwood. That said, I may also just use number 5 and have the pulpwood get delivered on this train. I'm not 100% sure. It's one of those things I'll think through. If leave a comment, you know, tell me how it is that you run the pulpwood over to here, and keep in mind I don't have like the Graham County open. I haven't run anything up the what is that, the Walker branch. So I'm open to ideas. Also one of my fun things about the game is planning. I do enjoy the planning part of it. So that's something that I will dive into. And on a day like today, when the logs are back, you know, at 8:30, maybe I go pick up the cars out of the sawmill, take them up to the yard, East Whittier, then hop on pulpwood, and hop on the pulpwood and shove them up the branch. Who knows? Not like 5 has been doing a whole lot, you know. And again, this is my routine that I do with every train. I turn every locomotive here, so that way it's running tender first from here to the interchange. And so then that way I don't have to bring the locomotive back, turn it, and then send the locomotive back. Now, once I get another locomotive, maybe I can leave one based here. And once I have one based here, it can be facing tender first. And so all I have to do is bring this locomotive in, send that locomotive out, and we're done. The front of it is... Yep, front of it's on. We will we'll now flip. Also, as we saw, the passenger train's now departing Dillsboro, so that's good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this locomotive grab the passenger car that's here and shove it onto the second track, so that way number 1 can pick it up and shove it onto the train tomorrow. Also curious, leave a comment if you've actually seen a locomotive being turned on a turntable. I don't know how many places are still doing it and how many places where you can actually be close to doing it. I finally got to see it happen for the first time in this past October in Somerville, Georgia, with Southern 4501. That was a really fun trip. That was the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum in Chattanooga. They don't do a lot of them, but they do run what they call Somerville Steam. and it's a run that departs the Chattanooga Depot at, well, the museum property depot at like 9 a.m. I think it is, and then they run, I think it's 40 miles to Summerville, Georgia. It may be further than that. It's real accessible. You got to do a little bit of planning so you know where to turn, where you're going, and all that. But once you do all that, it's a real easy chase. And see where I am in terms of. Oh, let's just get the water now while I'm sitting here. So that's one of the programs that I'm hoping to have on DVD and Blu-ray here soon is the Steam to Somerville, Tennessee Valley Railway, Southern 4501. I do plan on getting out there again when they doublehead. I would like footage from the doubleheader as well. It's a neat ride too. I rode it the second day. I chased it the first day, rode it the second day, and it is a very neat ride. I know the what is it? The Great Smoky Mountain Railway is what runs on the lines depicted in this game. So that would be another fun one to go out and do. I know my uncle and a couple cousins have done it. So I've got a cousin who lives in Asheville, and so the first time they went out, my uncle and one of my cousins, he lives out in this particular area. I live in northern Colorado. I guess they rode it the first time he was out there and said it was a real nice ride. I think that would be a fun one to go out and see just how accurate this game is. I mean, if you've followed this game area on Google Maps, you know just how accurate it is. I mean, I challenge you, go look at Whittier, town of Whittier on Google Street View, especially the depot area. It legitimately looks like you're looking at the game. But a few of the things in the game are fictional. You know, the area in Bryson, they don't really have a whole lot there. They have a Y, and that's about it. There's no yard. This area where my character's standing, there's just a couple tracks that go through. Although I do believe somewhere in this stretch is where they have their shops. So they literally have to run from here to Bryson just to get the cars and the locomotives and stuff from the depot to the shops. Okay, so we got another coach coming out. I am not going to bring a coach with me with number one, which is what I've had been doing. Just give myself another car, make it a 6-car train instead of a 7. We'll throw that. We'll throw this one. It's already thrown. Basically, the rest of our day will be this train. I know that number one will be uncoupling from the passenger train, and I'll bring number 1 back down to turn and service it. And then I'll just move number 10 out from where it is currently, because currently it's technically in the way of the mine. In fact, I can go do that right now. We'll get this down to 5 and then let it coast. Then what I usually do is I just tell the AI crew, go for it. Forward, 20 cars, go. It's clear for 20 cars, and it'll take off. It'll park out of the way, and it's all nice and wonderful and dandy. I'll park the coach somewhere down in here. Okay, so number 1 has arrived at Sylva. And I need to get into manual as well. There we go. Perfect. Number 10's out of the way. Number 10 is done for the day. Up at the coal mine. And so it literally is just getting number 1 over here and getting this train to interchange. Well, I gotta set the cars off for Dillsboro, but select number 1 so that way I can get it ready to make this move. This is usually the part of the day where I get a little impatient because I can see the finish line. So I'm going to do exactly what you see me doing here, where I get a little antsy, even if there we go. So what's our story on this one? That one's at 14.3, so it probably will not be done tomorrow. Passenger coaches are in position to be loaded in the morning. Then we're going to have the AI take it at 10 miles an hour back. And I got to throw the switch, and I got to get the signals lined for it. Actually, we'll do it at 15. Let's see how well my multitasking has done. Not too terrible. All right. Now we'll get the signal aligned. So our engine hop is lined into the siding at Dillsboro. The passenger train is out of the picture. And I always put them roughly where they originate. Just made a hook. There we go. Dispatcher screen is set up. And now we are going to run this up to Dillsboro to do some work. Didn't load it with coal, but that's all right. No need to necessarily go too fast. I mean, we only have an approach here, and I don't know if we have the space in front of the train with the signal there in order to make the switching move. Check though first here, see which car. Okay, so it's the first car is going to the freight house. That's actually a plus. It's a big plus. Big, big plus. I also do like getting the power for the passenger train off and run around, because then I know the switches are going to be thrown. I know for a fact because of one, the coal train, and two, the locomotive from the passenger train. I know that my switches are thrown for me to get to the interchange. So once this work here is done, all I have to do is hit the AI crew, send it there at 15 miles an hour, and based on what I just saw, the locomotive is almost here. Oh, there it is. Well timed. Well timed. There we go. We did not foul the switch, although we will once we have to pull these two cars out. Every one of these cars that I have coupled is loaded right now. Number one is stopped. I will just take control of you. That's how much it takes to go from Dillsboro to Sylva, and then back to all the way to Larka Junction, and then come back to Sylva and back to Dillsboro. I forgot to throw the switch. That was embarrassing. I was a little overstimulated. That's my bad. Oh well, happens though. At least we know what I won't be doing here this time, and that is forgetting. Look at that. There we go. I do wish I could just take this, what is that, Main Central, and just shove it in here and it would work, but the fact that I did the fuel is... I wasn't sure I even wanted to, but... oh well, you know what happens. I'm not even sure if my caboose is clear of the switch. No, it's not. My caboose isn't even clear. How about that? I couldn't run one over to the servicing if I wanted to. And my thought, once I do expand and get the paper mill going, is that the local that does the paper mill would also do this switching. So that way, the only work that this train has to do at Dillsboro is combine everything. Well, honestly, it wouldn't even be combining everything. It would terminate at Dillsboro Yard, and then there would be a local from Dillsboro to Sylva. Yeah, dispatcher, I need permission. Back out. It's gonna be a recurring thing. That's another reason why I'm kind of looking forward to this timetable update, is because then I can get all those passengers would know, hey, the train's coming at this time. So then that way they wouldn't be here at 16:19 when, you know, the passenger train's not going to be running for 14 hours. Because that's one of the few things that's a little wonky, is that passengers show up at any time. I don't remember where the cost is for how much that's going to cost me to set these cars off for interchange. Oh well, we'll just have it be a nice little surprise. And what I'll do is I'll grab the 2 cars for Locust Pin, bring them with me, and then that way I can, when I pick up the 3 that are going to interchange, I can kick. There we go. I did not foul the signal, and I threw the switch. That's always a plus. If my math is right, it's going to be 17 cars for interchange, but only 14 of them am I going to be getting paid for. Because, yeah, I'm setting off 2 cars, but I'm picking up 3. So basically, Dillsboro is a wash. All right, so this is our last movement. We pick these cars up. These 3 onto the interchange train. Get these 2 back onto this track, and off to interchange we go. Once we get to interchange, we won't be done. What I'll do is I'll run around. I'll pick up the caboose, and then I'll pull the locomotive and the caboose far enough out that it doesn't interfere with the interchange movement. If you were watching part 1, you kind of saw roughly where it is that I park that stuff overnight. So then I'll park that there, and by the time that all gets done, number 1 should be turned around and coupled back up to that passenger coach. And so then that will be my day, and what I'll do is I should be able to get number 5 back onto the spine cars pretty quickly. One, two, three, going to interchange. Give them a little kick as I'm going. And then we give these a little kick as we're going. Hang on. Those three are going to hit the train. They're going to hit it fairly hard, but oh well. There we go. We're kicking cars. Why? Because we can. Saves time. I don't even know if these 3 box cars are going to make it to the train. I'm fine with that, if we're being honest here. Go. That car is in position. We jump over. I guess we jump over that car. I was going to jump over to that car, but we'll jump over it because it's fun. And there we go. There is our train for interchange. So 17 cars. The locomotive is technically past the signal, so I don't have to reline it. I do have to line this one, though. This will be a Dissy. All right, so let's get this freight train going, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it off to an AI, and the AI crew is going to go ahead and take the train out to interchange. So this is where we make sure that our switches are lined for the proper interchange track. But you know, first you got to listen a little bit as it takes off down the really chugging. I like the way they chug. All right, there we go. So now we can cut across. I'm lazy and cut across the hills. Usually works. So every once in a while I can screw that part up too. And once I make sure all of these are properly thrown, which they should be. The last thing through here was the coal train, and this is going on to the tracks that the coal train was on. We can go grab number 5, get it onto the logging cars. Perfect. Perfect. And then I should be... Oops. A fusee out on the rail. Perfect. All right. Load. I'm going to load. Are we frozen? That would stink. We make it all the way through the day without freezing. There we go. All right. Now, real quick, I'm going to hop over to Whittier, grab number 5. And once we grab 5, we'll take it over to the log cars, which will take all of almost nothing. No time at all. As we can see, there are still 2 cars that are needing to be unloaded, so I have lost control of my movement. There we go. Now we're drowning. I legitimately have no idea what's going on. Better. I don't know what button I had pushed or what, but I lost control of the movements. It was nice to see, though, that the developers have also gotten the underside of the dock. I mean, that's fun. Fun details like that make this game fun. All right. So 5 is in position. Now we hop back out on the map. We head back up to where we just were in Dillsboro. We turn number 1. And by that point, the train should be the interchange train should be about finished by the time I get this thing turned. I need the dispatcher in order to move. There's my freight over here. Now our switches will be lined onto the turntable. And ultimately, what's going to happen is once I'm done turning this locomotive, I'm going to back it onto this passenger coach here, which is now shiny and 100%. And I'm going to park number 1 on the track coupled up to it, and then first thing in the morning, I'm going to back those to the passenger train. I shouldn't forget, once after I turn it, I'm going to fill both coal and water. So I'll turn it, service it, and then couple it up to the passenger. And again, I realize I could be done earlier if my trains went faster, but I also feel like I wouldn't have as much time to think. That's why I run my freights at 15. Here we go. Now we play spinny on the spinny again. And I go into flight mode to get the servicing and stuff done, because then I can place, as you can see, I can position myself where I need to be, and bring the locomotive into the camera, as opposed to trying to do it while everything's moving. So there we go. And again, so for my locomotive that I'm looking at for the passenger train, I will either do 440 American, which I can see, you obviously you got your tractive effort, you got your capacity for water and coal and all of that, and the price is pretty reasonable. One of the ones I've been considering though is the 442. It's got way more capacity for coal tender, and it's got not much but higher water capacity. So I'm leaning towards the Atlantic, the 442, and for only $1,200 more, I think that one's the way to go. But I gotta actually get to that point first. I realize I have the money to purchase both of them right now if I want, but But for right now, I'm content actually with this 460, the default one. If we look at the equipment, it's actually getting fairly close to needing its service, but oh, I wasn't looking. Sorry. I was looking at the condition and how long it's going to take to repair, and was internally planning. Like, I'm glad that it'll fill the water when you completely miss it like this, but it does seem just a little on the weird side. Then this switch here, and we will be able to S our way from service track over to the runaround track. Oh, I didn't even think so. The overhaul's doing 1,400 miles. I currently have 1,082 miles on it. That's actually pretty solid odometer reading, given that it's the cheapest locomotive in the game. And it's a locomotive that you were basically given because it was derailed at the beginning and start off. I do find the storyline be intriguing. Like, hey, we don't want this railroad anymore. You can get it for cheap if you want. Comes with, a few spine cars, a couple pulpwood cars, caboose, a couple locomotives. To me, that's a solid storyline, in my opinion. For whatever my opinion is worth. So there we go. We are coupled up to the coach. Morning. We will shove that back to the rest of the train. So that leaves one last thing to do. As I figured, it was close to being done right there. Literally as I clicked, the notification came up. 14 cars, $1,000. I can handle it. Put it back on manual. And now the what is it? The Atlantic Railroad or whatever it is that you interchange with. Once they get it, they can come over to this coal track, pick up the loaded coal cars, over to this freight track, pick up the cut that has a bunch of loads up front. I will say the empty coal car up front might be a bit of a detractor, but that doesn't happen very often. And honestly, once I get that car back, I mean, I'm going to be set on my coal cars. The coal cars will be parked at their respective coal tip holes for quite a while. Especially now that I've got locomotives that can handle however many loads of coal, tons of coal it is, 11 or something. So I'm now lined through. I'm going to come through, grab the caboose off the back of this train, pull it a little ways forward just to get it, like I said, out of the way. These 3 boxcars are going to cost me a pretty penny when interchange time comes. But that's it. That's been my day. So if we look where we started for the day, when I came on, I was at 18,941. I'm at 22,097 right now, so $4,000. And there was a minus 1,800 in there to purchase the next milestone towards the Fontana Lake line. And that'll be fun. That'll be a fun run that goes up the hill. This number 21 here will be the one handling that move. And I've got number 2 in Bryson so that it can handle the switching. Then the following day, this one will be bringing the cars back, and honestly, number 2 can put the train together. They combine the Fontana Lake cars with the cars that number 2 pulls from the yard in Bryson, and it might be minimal service disruption. Because ultimately, once I send this train out with the Fontana Lake cars, I can still do the switching and stuff at Bryson. I can still do all the switching at East Whittier. I can still have the Birdie running, doing all of its switching. I mean, it'll be just the only thing that's going to be different is I'm going to have to run around this at what's the name of that side? Is that siding Fontana or whatever that doesn't have signals? Then shove those cars up to it. I've done it before. I've done it once. I mean, this is part 2 of the Fontana Lake bridge project. So, and now, as you can see, we've got our locomotive facing the correct way. We've got our marker lights on the caboose facing the right way. This is ready to go for the morning, and it's only 17:20. Now, I realize once you remove the time multiplier, it will be, 11:30 or something like that. That's a problem for, I guess it's not even a problem. It's a factor for once I actually get to that point. There we go. 20 is parked. We look at all of our locomotives. 1 is parked at Dillsboro Yard. 2 is parked in the yard at Bryson. 5 is parked on the logging cut. 10 is parked up at the coal mine. 20 is parked at Appalachian Hardwoods, and 21 is parked here. So we are now done for the day. That is awesome. The last thing I always do is move my character back to the quote-unquote yard office, or I guess the railroad office in East Whittier. And I have the office at East Whittier simply because when you take over the railroad, this is where you start. And that's it. That's my day. What I'm going to show you first, though, is what I do in this situation. So 1723. So under normal, if it was 1823 or 1624, I would just sleep. But since the daily report comes out in 40 minutes, I'll wait my 1 hour. So now I have my daily report available. I can see I've got one car at Sylva, which is that coal car. I've got 9 cars at Whittier, which are the spine cars. I've got 1 car at Ela, which is that one that was almost finished when we went through. Got 1 car at Bryson, which was the box car that was basically finished when we went through. And then I've got 6 cars at Alarka Junction, all of which are coal cars. Made $4,800, which, add 2,000 onto that for the milestone. Pretty solid passenger wages. Those have absolutely skyrocketed since I took over from the line to Sylva. There's my fuel inventory, my shops, and all that stuff. The repair tracks for the shops are going to be getting the box cars in the next couple days. The fuel inventory, those should all be pretty standard once I get the coal car back from interchange. And there's my daily report. So the last thing I do for the day is I sleep. And this will be the end of day 41 on the Dubkir Valley Railway. And now day 42 is about to start. You can see I received 33 cars from interchange. My reputation actually went down a percentage point, but oh well. What I do is always, after I sleep and it becomes 6 a.m., I save it. So the game is saved. And now what I can do is I can fly. I believe I can fly. And I kind of get a little bit of a status report as to what I'm looking for. So we've got 1 boxcar going to interchange. We've got 1 loading, 1 being unloaded. Those may or may not go to interchange. I don't know. And then here's where I use my fly mode to, let's go check out the interchange just to see what all cars I've got coming in for the day. Obviously, the first batch is going to be to Fontana Lake, and you can see them in blue. Okay. Boy, we're going to have some switching ahead of us. Look at that. We got a random Robinson gap in the middle. And again, if you missed part 1, I do have my interchange set up to be, I think it's called mostly blocked. So I can grab that Fontana Bridge site flat. I can throw my Fontana cars on this close track. I can get that 1 Robinson gap out of there and onto this far track. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of switching to start the day because I want these Fontana Bridge site cars up front, then the Bryson cars, then my 1 Dillsboro car. I do have an Ela house track car, so that will be the very last car of the train. I want that to be the last car of the train, so that way when I depart Bryson, it's the first car of the train. So the Ela car will be last on the train. Then the Whittier sawmill cars will be second to last. Then the Slay, Mica, and Schist will be in there. I may have it between Ela and Whittier. Then my Dillsboro car, and then my Bryson cars, and then my Fontana car. So that's order from caboose to locomotive. Then obviously the coal cars will happen when the coal train runs. How many is that? That's 1 up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I got a 12-car empty coal train, as well as 21 car on the merchandise. That's what I have going on here. I don't have any work here. Wilmot, guessing that car is not loaded. Okay, so it's actually more loaded than I thought it would be. I don't know if it'll be fully loaded by the time the train gets back, though. Because remember, I switched it on my way back to Dillsboro. Now we come to Whittier. We got the sawmill. I'm guessing all of these cars are good. We still have one boxcar that's being loaded. It's pretty much. We got this gondola that's loaded. This one's being loaded. All of these cars are good to go up the branch. I'm guessing, because I have a car for stencil, that one or both of these is good. Interchange. Still loading. Interchange. We know we have the one car at Ela because it said so on the daily report, so I don't need to look at that. And then we look at Bryson. There was no car on the team track, no car in the freight house, which means it should just be that one box car. As well as probably only one of the cars from Appalachian Hardwood. Yep, so we got interchange. And this coal car is going to be around a while because the coaling tower is now full, so I won't have to worry about that coal car for probably a couple weeks. We got this tank car. Could be this tank car anyway. Yep. And that box car, as well as, oh yes, so this middle box car is loaded. And then the coal car, if I wait, that coal car may be empty by the time I get there too. And then we got a coal train up at the summit. Or I guess not at the summit, but up at Robinson Gap. Load. Load. Go. Got to see if with this box car is good or not, though. That box car is good for this trip. And there's our loaded coal train ready to go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 11 cars. With 2 more being loaded. That'll work. That is a day on the Dubkir Valley Railway. I want to thank you all for watching. If you've made it from part 1 to part 6, you are the bomb. You are the absolute awesomeness. I want to thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. Go find us on Facebook, Instagram. Give us a like and a follow there. If you want to check out our website to see the rail videos that we have available, go for it. Dubkirmedia.com. Also have calendars. All of the previous year's calendars are only $5. And as the Colorado Model Railroad Museum says, the photos alone are worth it. I do have 2025 calendars. They are, as of me doing this, they're about $10 right now because we're into the year, but they're still viable. So thanks again for watching. Take care. Have a good one. And we'll see you around.